I have created a Benelux Super League in FootballManager, featuring clubs from all three countries, Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg. Which club will reign supreme in this video and be crowned the best of the Benelux region? Hey, how's it going, and welcome to this FootballManager experiment video where I have created a Benelux Super League featuring the clubs from all three countries of the Benelux region, Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg. And for this experiment video, I have simulated 50 years into the future to see who will become the biggest club from the region. Also, for the sake of the experiment, I have taken over the Netherlands league system. So we've got two leagues here today. We've got the Benelux Super League and we've also got the Benelux First League as well. So we've actually got 38 teams in total. Of course, most of them are from Belgium and the Netherlands, but there's also 6 clubs from Luxembourg as well. Could we end off the video with a Luxembourg team winning a trophy? Hopefully that can happen, but realistically, the biggest club of the video will go to one of the big boys such as Ajax, Feyenoord, maybe even Club Brugge from Belgium as well. So looking at the Super League first of all, of course there's some big teams out of Netherlands and Belgium. The most notable one, of course, though, is Ajax. They are the biggest team historically, and by reputation they're still the biggest team as well from the Benelux region. But we've got some big teams chasing them down, such as their fierce rivals Feyenoord. We've also got some big Belgian teams in here as well, such as Club Brugge, of course, Anderlecht, who have not been as good in recent years as they were historically, let's be honest. We've also got Standard Liège in here as well, Union SG, one of the most recent winners of the Belgium Pro League, of course. Also, the league system is sorted by reputation of the club. So the top 18 teams here are the top 18 teams of the region. We go down into the First League, and this is when we start to see the Luxembourg teams as well. We've got 6 teams from Luxembourg in here. They're all 2-star teams. You've got Differdang, Dude Lang. We've also got Eunice Esch, Progress, Racing FC Luxembourg, and Swift Hesperange. I know I've completely battered every single one of those names, by the way. I apologise for that in advance, but the other teams of the league, of course, Dutch and Belgium. We've got some other teams in here, such as ADO Den Haag, Beerschot, Cercle of Bruges as well, Sparta Rotterdam, Westerlo, Willem II, Zolta Weergem as well. So, got some big teams in the First League as well. Some teams who could definitely make a dent in the Super League, has to be said. But realistically, if we're looking at the best team of the video, it'll be hard to pick from either Ajax, Feyenoord, and, well, PSV as well, of course. I haven't mentioned PSV yet. Ajax, Feyenoord and PSV from the Dutch league, of course, and then maybe Anderlecht, maybe Club Brugge as well, maybe even Genk from the Belgian league as well. For saying that, Ajax are the biggest team historically, but of course they've been a little bit iffy the last couple of seasons, so can't actually predict who will be the biggest team of the video. Of course, you have to wait to the end to see that. But I reckon it'll be quite tight. It should be quite tight. There's some teams here who've got a similar reputation, similar size as well. Also, you look at the competition reputation here, because I've taken over the Dutch league system here. We start off as the 6th biggest league in Europe. So if you actually look at the list here of the biggest clubs in the Benelux region, Ajax do come out on top. They're the only 4-star reputation team of the video with a continental reputation. A little bit surprised to not see PSV or Feyenoord with a continental reputation, to be honest. I think they deserve that, but who am I to decide that? This is FootballManager. So Ajax on top with a 4-star reputation. We've got a lot of teams with 3.5 stars. We've got PSV and Feyenoord, of course. And then we've got 3 Belgian teams as well, Club Brugge, Anderlecht and Antwerp, chasing them down. But also AZ, Genk and FC Utrecht, all with a 3.5-star reputation. But again, we've still got some big teams with a 3-star reputation. We've got a lot of teams with 3-star reputation, to be honest. But we're looking at the bigger 3-star rep teams. You've got FC20, Standard as well, AA Ghent, Vitesse, Heerenveen as well. And if we look down at the bottom of the Benelux First League, this is where we get all the 6 Luxembourg teams, all with a 2-star reputation, as I said, but it's not like they're a million miles away from the other teams. That is Dude Lang, of course, Swift Hesperange, Progress, Differdang, Eunice Esch and Racing FC Luxembourg. Can one or two of those teams make a dent in the video here today? Can they win a Benelux Cup and get to the Benelux Super League as well? We shall find out. Also, I've taken over, of course, the Dutch Cup as well. That is now named the Benelux Cup. And, of course, the Dutch Super Cup as well, which is now named the Benelux Super Cup. So we've got a lot of things to look at here today, but of course the main thing is the Benelux Super League. Also, we're keeping an eye on how the teams do in Europe as well. So in this video, I will go forward 5 seasons at a time, up to 50 seasons. Let's see who the early dominant force is. Well, 5 seasons played and Ajax are still on top with a 4-star reputation rating, but they're joined by PSV, who are also rated as a continental club now. So it looks like Ajax and PSV have been on top in the last 5 seasons. We shall check it out in a second. Hasn't changed much in terms of reputation, but one team who have failed miserably in the first 5 seasons are Antwerp. Antwerp are now in the Benelux First League. They start off with a 3.5-star reputation, now down to 3-star and in the second division. So Antwerp are the biggest fallers as of so far, Antwerp. But other than that, not much has changed. PSV rivaling Ajax to the top there. In terms of the Luxembourg teams, well, they still are the six smallest teams of the league so far, all there with 2-star reputations still. But obviously, there's a long way to go yet. 45 more seasons to go. Hopefully, we can see one or more of them rise up the league system. Well, the first 4 league titles were won by Dutch clubs, but the latest one was won by a Belgian club. Anderlecht have won the latest league title in 2028. AZ Alkmaar actually won the first Benelux Super League, which is, I'm a little bit surprised about that, to be honest. Obviously a big team, AZ Alkmaar, but I want to pick them out to win the first Super League title, but they have done that. They're the first ever winner of the Benelux Super League, so we'll go down in history in this video here today. After that though, PSV won back-to-back league titles in 25 and 26, and Ajax won one in 27 as well. So I did say it'd be quite tight in terms of league titles, and it started off in that fashion. 2 for PSV, and 1 for Ajax, AZ and Anderlecht. Also, the league has dropped down to 7th position now below the Portuguese Premier League, which is not a very great start to the video, but hopefully we can start climbing later on in the video, maybe crack the top 5 as I said. Well, in terms of the Benelux Cup, a little bit of a surprise in this one. OH Leuven won the Benelux Cup in 2026. A Belgian team, OH Leuven, of course, not one of the bigger teams of the video, but they've already won 1 Benelux Cup, which is nice to see. Feyenoord are yet to win the Super League, but they have won 2 Benelux Cups. Won it for the first time in 2024 and 2027 as well. AZ have also won a cup in 2025 and PSV in 2028. And of course, the Benelux Super Cup, not as important, only a minor trophy, but PSV have won 2 of those. OH Leuven won that as well in 2027. AZ have won 1 and Feyenoord have won 1 as well. Well, very early days, of course, in the first 5 seasons, but the most successful team domestically so far are PSV. They've won 5 trophies so far. 2 league titles, 1 cup and 2 Super Cups. But in joint second place are 2 more Dutch teams, Feyenoord and AZ Alkmaar. Feyenoord won 3 trophies and so have AZ as well. But AZ have won a Super League where Feyenoord have not. Ajax not been too great so far, not even making the top 3 and in the top 3 in the Dutch clubs as well. But we've got some Belgian winners as well. Anderlecht have won a Super League and OH Leuven have won a couple of cups as well. Well, in terms of the European competitions, only one team has reached the final so far, and that is Anderlecht. In the season just gone, they reached the Europa Conference League final, where unfortunately they lost to Lazio, but a pretty successful season for Anderlecht, has to be said. Won the Super League and got to a European final, but unfortunately they could not win that European final. So, yeah, quite an interesting start to the video here. PSV on top at the moment, but not by a lot. Not really a dominant force in the league as of yet, but plenty more of time to go in the video here today. Will there be a dominant force after 10 seasons? Well, 10 seasons played and big changes at the top of the reputation list here, and Feyenoord are now the biggest team of the video with a 4-star reputation rating and continental. They have overtaken both PSV and Ajax, who have both dropped down to 3.5 stars, and also AZ in second place. So Ajax are only good enough to be the 4th biggest Dutch team of the video so far, but the 4 biggest teams are Dutch: Feyenoord, AZ, PSV and Ajax. And the biggest Belgian team in 5th place is a big surprise. That is Westerlo. Westerlo, a team I've just completely overlooked here for the video for noticeable reasons, to be honest. They are the biggest Belgian club of the video at the moment, in 5th place there, but closely followed by Anderlecht, Club Brugge and Genk, who have all got a 3.5-star reputation. Also Standard and FC Utrecht with a 3.5-star reputation as well. But at the moment, the biggest team are Feyenoord with a 4-star reputation. And the biggest Belgian team are Westerlo, which is a big surprise. Well, Antwerp have really fallen off a cliff in this video so far. They were one of the biggest Belgian teams at the start. They are now, well, they're still in the Benelux First League, but they've now got a 2.5-star reputation. But you may notice a team above them, because that is Differdang. Differdang are the first Luxembourg team to get a 2.5-star reputation in the video. And also, they are sitting in the Benelux Super League. So we have our first Luxembourg team in the Benelux Super League, and that is Differdang. How are the other 5 Luxembourg teams getting on? Well, the other 5 Luxembourg teams are still in the bottom 5 of the biggest teams of the Benelux leagues here, but one team has already broken away in the first 10 seasons, and that is Differdang, who are currently sitting in the Benelux Super League. Well, talking of the Benelux Super League, and that has been dominated by Feyenoord over the last 5 seasons. They won 4 league titles in a row from 2029 to 2032. But the latest winners of the competition are Westerlo. Westerlo, who are now the biggest Belgian club of the video, and rightly so. They have won the latest Super League title. Will they be the surprise package of the video, Westerlo, or is it just a once in a blue moon situation for them? I guess we'll find out later on in the video, but Westerlo to already win a Super League title is pretty incredible. They have beaten the likes of Club Brugge to a league title before Club Brugge, shall I say. Also, who else has failed to win a league title as of yet? Also, Genk, Standard as well, Antwerp of course, and A Gent. So Westerlo doing very well in the early stages here, winning the Super League title. The 8 of the 10 winners though have been Dutch, of course 4 for Feyenoord in a row there. We've also got 2 for PSV, 1 for Ajax and 1 for AZ. We've also got 2 Belgian winners, 1 for Anderlecht and 1 for Westerlo. Also, the league has climbed back up to 6th place, but yet to see it crack the top 5. Well, Westerlo have done very well because in this season they have won the double. They have won the Benelux Cup in 2033 as well, so Westerlo doing magnificent things here. AZ won another one in 2029, PSV in 2030, Feyenoord in 2031, and Vitesse with their first trophy of the video, winning the cup in 2032. And in the Benelux Super Cup, dominated by Feyenoord as well, they've won 4 of the last 6 trophies, 3 of the last 4 as well. But Westerlo have won a 3rd trophy, winning that in 2032, and Anderlecht with their 2nd in 2029. Well, in terms of Europe, we've actually had 3 Belgian teams reach 3 Europa Conference League finals in a row, but unfortunately they all lost. Of course, Anderlecht lost at the last checkpoint there, but after that, Club Brugge reached the final, losing to Atletico Madrid, and then Westerlo reached the final in 2030 and lost to Roma. So not only have Westerlo just won a domestic double, they've also reached the European final as well. So Westerlo seem like a real deal from this video at the moment. Also, Club Brugge are yet to win a trophy, but they have reached the European final, yet to see any trophy win from them. And of course, Anderlecht reached that final against Lazio, but the Belgian teams, the only ones to reach a European final at the moment, but unfortunately, they all lost the final. So after 10 seasons, and the team on top is of course Feyenoord. They hadn't won a Super League in the first 5 seasons, but then they won 4 in a row. They've also won 4 Super Cups, and 3 Benelux Cups as well. So Feyenoord out on top with 11 trophies, and PSV in 2nd place with 6 trophies. But Westerlo starting to do things here. They reached the European final, and a couple of seasons later, they won a domestic double as well. Who will be on top after 15 seasons? Well, after 15 seasons, and the new team on top in terms of reputation is Anderlecht. So we've seen a lot of changes at the top of the reputation here. Started off with Ajax, of course, went to PSV, went to Feyenoord, now it's Anderlecht. So very, very interesting. Also, unfortunately, there is no team with a 4-star reputation now, so that's a little bit disappointing. But on top, we've got Anderlecht, followed by AZ, Feyenoord, then Westerlo, who are still doing well in the 4th biggest team in terms of reputation. Ajax and PSV are 5th and 6th, then Club Brugge, Genk, and Standard make up the 3.5-star reputation teams. Also, look at Differdang. Differdang are still in the Benelux Super League, but they're now rated 3 stars, so it seems like Differdang are a well-established Super League team, which is very nice to see. Antwerp made a little bit of a resurgence as well, back in the Super League, back to 3 stars as well. And in terms of the other 5 Luxembourg teams, they are all still at the bottom in terms of reputation. Although saying that, 2 of those teams have now got 2.5-star reputation in Swift Esperange and Eunice Esch. So they're making a little bit of progress here, the other Luxembourg teams. But of course, the top team in Luxembourg by far is Differdang, who are currently sitting in the Benelux Super League. Well, in terms of the Super League, not really a dominant force in the last 5 seasons. Feyenoord won it again in 2034 for the 5th time in 6 seasons. Then Anderlecht won it in 2035 and 2037. Ajax have been relatively quiet so far, won it in 2036. And the latest winners are AZ, who won it in 2038. So apart from Feyenoord's little domination period there, winning 5 out of 6 league titles, not really been any other dominant force of the video. Of course, PSV winning back-to-back league titles is very nice, and Anderlecht winning 2 out of 3 is very nice as well. Well, in terms of the Benelux Cup, Westerlo won that back-to-back in 2034. PSV won it in 2035, followed by Anderlecht and Standard Liège, who won their first trophy in 2037, and Westerlo are the latest winners, winning it for the 3rd time in the video in 2038. Well, in terms of the Benelux Super Cup, that's dominated by Belgian teams. They've won the last 5 trophies in this competition. Westerlo won it 2 in a row, back-to-back in 34 and 35. And Anderlecht have won it 3 seasons in a row from 2036 to 2038. So I think it's safe to say that not really that much of a dominant force, but if we were to pick one, that would be Anderlecht in the last 5 seasons. Talking of Anderlecht, they've reached their 2nd European final of the video already. This time the Europa League final, but unfortunately they have lost that one as well. They have lost to Tottenham in the Europa League final in 2037. We have our first winner of a European competition though, and that is Feyenoord. Feyenoord won it in 2037. Of course, no Dutch team has reached the European final yet, only Belgian teams, but the first Dutch team to reach a final, they have done what the Belgian teams cannot, and they have won that final. They beat Red Star Belgrade in the final in 2037. Club Brugge as well, another team who haven't won a competition yet. They have reached their 2nd Europa Conference League final, but they've lost it for the 2nd time as well, losing to West Ham in 2038. So Belgian teams do very well in making European finals. They don't do very well though in winning these European finals. Only one for a Dutch team in Feyenoord, but they have won that final where the Belgian teams have reached 5 European finals and lost all 5. Very interesting. Well, Feyenoord are still on top in terms of trophies won, and they're also the only team to win a European competition so far. So Feyenoord doing very, very well, but they are being chased down by Anderlecht and surprise package Westerlo as well. Also, in terms of the Luxembourg teams, Differdang are still doing very well, still sitting in the Benelux Super League. They aren't doing much in the Super League. They only just survived relegation this season, finishing 16th in the league. But what is their biggest finish so far, Differdang? Well, they have finished in the top half so far. They finished 9th in the league in 2037, so actually quite a poor season from this season. So Differdang doing quite good things, a well-established Super League team. They've spent the last 6 seasons in the Super League, but on top so far is Feyenoord. They have won the most trophies, and they've also won a European competition. Well, 20 seasons deep into the video now, we have a new team again at the top of the reputation table, and that is Westerlo. Westerlo are officially the biggest club in the Benelux League system here, closely followed though by another Belgian team in Anderlecht. Both of those teams with a 4-star reputation. Westerlo though with a continental rep, whilst Anderlecht only have national. But look at these two go, especially Westerlo. Of course, we knew Anderlecht were a big team. Up until about 5 years ago, they were by far the biggest Belgian team in terms of trophies won in that period at least. But Westerlo, surprise package, top of the leaderboard now, and 2 Belgian teams at 1 and 2. Very interesting. After that, though, we have 4 Dutch teams: AZ, Feyenoord, Ajax, and PSV, all with 3.5 stars. Followed by another 4 Belgian teams with Club Brugge, Genk, Standard, and Charleroi, all with 3.5-star reputation as well. So still very tight at the top, as you'd expect in the Benelux League system here. But the top 2 are Westerlo and Anderlecht. Also, Differdang are still sitting up there in the Benelux Super League, still with a 3-star reputation as well, so they're still going very nicely. And also, look at that. Doodlang have climbed up very nicely. They have now got a 3-star reputation and are currently sitting in the Benelux First League as well. So we've got our 2nd Luxembourg team breaking away from that pack at the bottom, and that is Doodlang. Well, all the Luxembourg teams now have actually got a 2.5-star reputation at least, so that is very, very nice. They all start off with a 2-star rep rating, of course, but now they've all got at least 2.5 stars, and 2 of them have got 3 stars. Swift Esperance as well, broken away a little bit from the bottom 3, but not by much. But the bottom 3 teams are still all Luxembourgish in Progress, Eunice Esch, and Racing FC Luxembourg. But I'm relatively happy with how the Luxembourg teams are getting on, Differdang especially, but now Doodlang are starting to make their move. Well, in terms of the Super League, been dominated by Belgian teams, and one Belgian team in particular in Westerlo. They won 3 out of 4 league titles in 2039, 41 and 42. Anderlecht won it again in 2040, and the latest winners are AZ, who won it in 2043. So Westerlo are making big moves in the video here. Not only could they be the biggest Belgian team of the video, they could be the biggest team of the video altogether. So what a surprise that would be to see Westerlo run out as the Benelux champions. Also, the league has climbed up to be in the top 5 now for the first time, which is very nice, overtaking the French Ligue 1. Also, we'll have a new team, a new Luxembourg team, shall I say, in the Super League next season. We'll have 2 Luxembourgish teams in the Super League next season because Doodlang have won the most recent Benelux First League titles. So we'll have Doodlang and Differdang in the Benelux Super League. Can one of those teams win the Super League by the end of the video, or another one of the Luxembourg teams. That is the dream. I'd love to see that. But let's hope they can at least win a Benelux Cup. That would be very nice. Talking of the Benelux Cup, and it's been dominated by Belgian teams again. The last 4 winners are all Belgian. What are the Dutch teams doing at the moment? I have no idea. AZ had won it in 2039 though, but Club Brugge have won their first and second trophy of the video. They won the Benelux Cup in 2040 and 2043, so they're finally off the mark, which is nice. They have reached 2 Europa Conference League finals so far, Club Brugge, but it's nice to see them win a trophy or 2 in the video. Yet to win the Super League, but this could be the start, could be the making of Club Brugge in the video, we shall see. Westerlo won another one in 2041 and Anderlecht in 2042. And in terms of the Benelux Super Cup, again, dominated by Belgian teams, the last 4 winners have been Westerlo or Anderlecht. Westerlo won it in 2040 and 2042, and Anderlecht in 41 and 43. Also, AZ won it in 2039. So I'm going to have to count up the trophies after this, because Anderlecht and Westerlo must be getting very close, if not overtaken Feyenoord. Well, we have another winner in the Europa Conference League, and that is Ajax. Another Dutch team have won the Europa Conference League. Only 2 finals so far have been competed by Dutch teams, so they've won both of them. Final, of course, in 2037. Now Ajax in 2043. They beat Dynamo in the final. Ajax have not done much so far in terms of the domestic league, to be honest. They are the biggest team of the region, but not won too many trophies. But they have won a European trophy, beating Dynamo in the final. Well, the battle for the biggest team of the video is very heating up at the moment. The top 3, only 1 trophy separating the top 3. We've got Anderlecht in 3rd place with 12 trophies so far. And then we have 2 teams who are joint top. That is Feyenoord and Westerlo, both with 13 trophies. I'll put Feyenoord at the top of the list though, because they have won more Super Leagues and they've also won a European trophy. But Westerlo have also won 13 trophies, and Anderlecht in 3rd place with 12 trophies. So the top 3 clubs, 2 of them are Belgian in Westerlo and Anderlecht, and the biggest club from the Netherlands are Feyenoord. So Ajax, Club Brugge, PSV, they all need to pull their finger out in the video, because these 3 teams are running away with it. 25 seasons played now, half of the video, and Westerlo and Anderlecht are still the 2 biggest teams from the Benelux League system here, but unfortunately both their reputation has dropped from 4-star to 3.5 stars, so that's a little bit underwhelming. AZ, Feyenoord, Ajax and PSV are the chasing Dutch pack there, followed by Club Brugge, Standard, Genk and OH Leuven, who are all 3.5-star reputation teams as well. Unfortunately, Differdang have fallen down a little bit. They're no longer in the Benelux Super League, but we have still got a Luxembourg team in there. That is Dudelang, who are just ahead of Differdang in terms of reputation, and they're currently sitting in the Benelux Super League. So Differdang are starting a little bit of a decline now, but fortunately for us, Dudelang are starting a little bit of a rise, so that is very nice to see. In terms of the other Luxembourg clubs, well, Eunice Esch and Racing FC Luxembourg are climbing a little bit away from the others, where Progress and Swift Hesperange are at the bottom of the list, but they're not actually the official bottom team of the video at the moment, because that goes to ADO Den Haag, who are now officially got a lower reputation than any of the Luxembourg clubs. In terms of the Benelux Super League, well, Feyenoord won that back-to-back in 2044 and 2045. Westerlo won it again in 2046. Ajax have been very quiet so far. Won it again in 2047, and the latest winners are Anderlecht, who won it in 2048. In terms of the Benelux Cup, Westerlo have won 2 of them as well in 2044 and 2047. Ajax have also won a cup in 2045. PSV in 2046, and Standard have won it again in 2048. And in the Benelux Super Cup, well, that's been dominated by Westerlo. They have won 3 of the last 4 in 45, 47 and 48. Club Brugge won that for the first time in 2044, and Feyenoord have won that in 2046 as well. So not really a dominant force from the last 5 seasons, but Westerlo have chipped in with a few more trophies, as have Feyenoord as well. Well, we've had our first Dutch team reach a European final and lose of the video, and that is Ajax. They lost the 2047 Europa Conference League final to Fiorentina. Fortunately, of course, they won the Europa Conference League in 2043, but they could have made it 2 European trophies, the only team to do that from the video in 2047, but unfortunately they lost to Fiorentina. So 25 seasons played. Feyenoord, Westerlo and Anderlecht are still at the top in terms of trophies won, but not really too much of a dominant force from the last 5 seasons. But if you give it to one club, it would be Westerlo. Could they end up being the biggest surprise package of the video? Well, let's find out. Before we go any further with this video though guys, please remember that if you do like the video, to hit that like button for me. It's very important for the video's success. And also if you're new around here and you want to see more videos like this, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out and it's much appreciated. So 30 seasons played now, and the team on top are now Feyenoord again with a 4-star reputation and continental, but followed closely by Westerlo, who have also got a 4-star reputation but only national. Anderlecht have dropped down to 3rd place now, above AZ and PSV. Club Brugge are above Ajax now as well. OH Leuven, Standard and Genk make up the other 3.5-star reputation teams. So not much has changed in terms of the chasing pack, but Feyenoord are now on top in terms of the biggest club again. The biggest Luxembourg team are still Dudelang, who are now in the Super League still with a 3-star reputation. Differdang have still fallen down. They are in the First League again with still got a 3-star reputation though, Differdang, so still doing relatively well, has to be said, but Dudelang are officially the biggest Luxembourg team. Also, Racing FC Luxembourg are doing some bit of climbing going on here. Still a 2.5-star reputation team, but getting away from the bottom of the list here. Progress has climbed up a little bit as well. Swift Esperange, Eunice Esch are the smallest Luxembourg team, but again, the smallest team of the video are not Luxembourgish. It is Dutch, because that is Heracles now, who are sitting bottom in terms of the reputation. Well, Feyenoord did win 4 league titles back in the early days of the video here. They've won 4 in a row again. They have won it from 2050 to 2053. So Feyenoord are starting to flex their muscle in their video here today. Westerlo won it in 2049 as well, but Feyenoord the only team to win 4 in a row, and they've done it twice. In terms of the Benelux Cup, well, Feyenoord won 2 of those as well in 2050 and 2052. Genk have won their first trophy, I believe, in 2049. PSV won it in 2051 and Anderlecht in 2053. Also, the cup has risen to be the 3rd biggest cup competition in Europe, only behind the DFB Pokal and the FA Cup. So, doing very nice, the Benelux Cup. And the Benelux Super Cup, Anderlecht have won 2 more of those in 49 and 53, as have Feyenoord in 51 and 52. And Genk have won their 2nd trophy, winning that in 2050. Well, Club Brugge are not doing much domestically, it has to be said, but they do love a European final. Unfortunately, they've made their 3rd European final, and they've lost all 3. They got to the Europa League final this time, where they lost to Nottingham Forest, unfortunately, in 2052. Club Brugge have been a little bit underwhelming so far in the video, it has to be said, domestically. I expect a little bit better from them, yet to win a Super League title, but they have reached 3 European finals, so they lost all 3, unfortunately. Hopefully they get some redemption by the end of the video and win a European final at least, but most disappointing team in the video so far has been Ajax, in my opinion. They have chipped in with a few trophies, but not enough for a team of their calibre. And their fierce rivals Feyenoord are running away with things at the moment. They have won the last 4 Super Leagues in a row. Will it still be the case after 35 seasons? 35 seasons played now, and Feyenoord are still on top in terms of reputation, but Anderlecht and Westerlo both joined them with a 4-star reputation and all the continental rep rating as well. So these 3 teams have been the 3 biggest teams of the video so far, and they're still the 3 biggest teams of the video, and they probably end up being the top 3 as well, which is very surprising. Not so much Feyenoord, Anderlecht a little bit surprising, not too surprising, but Westerlo is a massive surprise package for me, and probably for you guys as well. But those 3 teams are on top at the moment. The chasing pack, the 3.5-star reputation teams, we have AZ, OH Leuven, who have risen up quite well, it has to be nice, up to 5th in the league, 5th in the list now, OH Leuven. They won a couple of trophies early on. Had they won any since then, we shall see. We've got Ajax, Club Brugge, Antwerp, who have made a little bit of a resurgence. Nice to see that. PSV, Standard, Heerenveen, and Genk. And look at that, the team who are just below the 3.5-star reputation teams, just below, are Dudelang, who are still sitting in the Benelux Super League. Yet to see a Luxembourg team reach a 3.5-star rep rating. Will Dudelang be the first team to do that? Hopefully they will be. Also, Differdang are still in the Super League. Well, they're back in the Super League, shall I say, Differdang. Still with that 3-star reputation rating. So it's currently got 2 Luxembourg teams in the Super League, which is very nice. Unfortunately, we've got a Luxembourg team back on the bottom of the list again. That is Swift Esperange, who are bottom with their 2.5-star reputation. Racing FC Luxembourg and Progress are a little bit away from the bottom 2 of Eunice Esch and Swift Esperange. Well, we're starting to see a team break away from the rest here, because Feyenoord have made it 4 league titles in a row for the 3rd time of the video. They've also won 8 of the last 9 Super League titles, so it's going to be hard to look past Feyenoord winning the video here today. Crazy scenes from them. 8 of the last 9 league titles have gone to Feyenoord. The other team to win was Anderlecht, who broke up their little run in 2054, but They only stopped them winning 4 in a row to only let them win 4 in a row again, Feyenoord. So Feyenoord making big progress on the video now. Also, in terms of the Luxembourg teams, Differdang still have the highest recorded finish of the Luxembourg teams, finishing 9th in the Super League. Dudelang have finished as high as 10th so far in the Super League. So can we see one of those two teams make it into the top 8? That'd be nice to see. But Differdang have made the top half of the Super League, which of course is a great achievement in itself. Well, in terms of the Benelux Cup, OH Leuven have climbed to be the 5th biggest team of the video so far, have won a Benelux Cup for the 2nd time, I believe, in 2054, so that's nice to see. AZ won it in 55, Feyenoord only won one in the last 5 years in 56, Westerlo and Anderlecht are the 2 latest winners of the competition as well. In terms of the Super Cup, well, Feyenoord have won 3 more of those in 54, 56 and 57. OH Leuven have won that again for the 2nd time, I believe, in 2055, and Westerlo have won it in 2058. Wow, talking of OH Leuven, they have reached the European final as well, but unfortunately the Belgian curse strikes again. They reached the Europa League final in 2058 where they lost to Real Sociedad. So, wow, these Belgian teams can't get a break in European football, can they? They have lost how many finals now? They've actually lost 3 Europa League finals, OH Leuven, Club Brugge and Anderlecht. Belgian teams have got to 7 European finals so far, have lost all 7. Unfortunately, so the Belgian curse in Europe continues. Of course, a couple of Dutch teams have won the Europa Conference League in Feyenoord and Ajax, but the Belgian curse definitely continues. Not continuing though in domestic football, but Feyenoord running away with things at the moment. They have won 8 of the last 9 Super League titles. Well, 40 seasons played now. We have our first team of the video to reach a 4.5 star reputation rating, and that is Feyenoord, a team who have really grown in the video now and looking like they're going to end off the video as the biggest team from the Benelux region. They have now got a 4.5 star reputation rating, which is very nice, has to be said. That is a solid team in European football. So could we see Feyenoord win a Champions League in the video? I mean, it's a long shot, but it's definitely possible now the way they're growing in the video. Second on the list is still Westerlo with 4-star reputation. We've got a lot of 4-star reputation teams now. We've actually got 5 in total, which include Westerlo, AZ, Anderlecht, OH Leuven, and PSV. So look at OH Leuven go as well. Another surprise package on the video. Not quite as surprising as Westerlo, of course, unless they go on a crazy spree towards the end. Also, big news in terms of the list are Ajax. Look at the state of Ajax. What on earth is going on at that club? Because they are currently sitting in the 2nd division of the Benelux League system with only a 3-star reputation rating. I repeat, Ajax are currently sitting in the 2nd division. What on earth has happened to them? I have no idea. Let's have a look at them actually quickly. What has happened to Ajax? A look at them. They're very much an inconsistent team. Look at the state of their league positions over the years. But it's got a whole lot worse in 2062. They got relegated, finishing 17th in the league. And now they're currently, well, I think they've just been promoted, to be honest. Promoted back to the Super League. But the league finishes from Ajax over the last 30 years or so have been absolutely dreadful. Look at the state of that graph there. Terrible from Ajax. Absolutely terrible. Also, I mentioned Ajax, but another big mover of the list are Dudelang, because they've now got a 3.5 star reputation. The first time a Luxembourg team has reached a 3.5 star rep rating of the video, and that goes to Dudelang. But also, Differdang. Differdang have also got a 3.5 star reputation rating and are currently sitting in the Super League. So these two teams are doing magnificent things in representing Luxembourg on the video. Can we see one of these two teams though win a competition? Hopefully we can. That will be the dream of the video. Dudelang and Differdang though doing brilliant things in terms of the Super League. And to put it into context, Dudelang and Differdang are now officially bigger than both Ajax and Club Brugge. So this video has taken a turn in the last 5 seasons. Not in a great way for Ajax and Club Brugge as well. In terms of the other 4 Luxembourg teams, well, they're still lingering towards the bottom of the reputation list here. Can we see another one of those 4 and make a little bit of a break for it and try and win a competition? We shall see. But of course, Differdang and Dudelang representing Luxembourg very nicely. Well, in terms of the Super League, unfortunately, I think the race is over. I think Feyenoord have won the video because they actually made it 8 seasons in a row winning the Super League. They actually won 12 out of 13 league titles. A crazy run from Feyenoord in the 2015s and basically the entire 2050s, they absolutely dominated, and the early 2060s as well. Westerlo have won the latest Super League though in 2063, but Feyenoord won 12 out of 13 league titles. Also, the Super League has climbed to be the 4th biggest in Europe now, which is very nice, above the French Ligue 1 and the Bundesliga as well. Look at that, look how crazy it's gone in the video now. The last 2 winners of the Benelux First League have been Club Brugge and Ajax, so these 2 teams should not be sitting in the 2nd division. And they both have won the 2nd division in the last 2 seasons. Crazy scenes there. In the Benelux Cup, well, Feyenoord are not doing well in the Benelux Cup. They haven't won it in the last 7 seasons. Yeah, strange to see that, seeing as how much they're dominating in the Super League. Westerlo have won 2 more in 2060 and 2063. OH Leuven have won that in 2059 again. Anderlecht in 61 and PSV in 62. Also, the Benelux Cup is now the 2nd biggest cup competition in Europe. In the Benelux Super Cup, though, that has been dominated by Feyenoord. They have won 5 in a row from 2059 to 2063. Also, Dudelang from Luxembourg are actually qualified for a European competition this season, finishing in 8th place and qualifying for the Europa Conference League. Also, Dudelang have the new highest record for a Luxembourg team in the Benelux Super League. They finished in 7th place in 2061. They're slowly creeping up, Dudelang. Can they win a competition by the end of the video? Well, we've had another team reach the Europa League final. I think that's the 3rd time of the video. And that is AZ Alkmaar. Unfortunately, they lost the final though, losing to Napoli in 2061. So, yet to see a team win the Europa League, but we have had 3 teams get to the final. Unfortunately, they lost all 3. Well, in terms of the Europa Conference League, OH Leuven reached the final of that again. Did they reach the Europa League final, OH Leuven? They did. So 4 teams have reached the Europa League final, and OH Leuven have reached the Europa Conference League final as well. Their 2nd European final. But of course, the Belgian curse continues. The 8th Belgian team to reach a European final, or the 8th time in total, shall I say, not the 8th team. They've reached the final. They lost to 2062 to Espanyol. So, can we see a Belgian team lift the European trophy by the end of the video? Hopefully we can, because the Belgian curse does continue. Well, in terms of the top 3 now, in terms of trophies won, we've got Anderlecht in 3rd place with 19 trophies. Westerlo are in 2nd place with 25 trophies, but out in front by a distance now are Feyenoord, who have won 41 trophies in the first 40 seasons here. So, barring something ridiculous from Westerlo or Anderlecht, it looks like Feyenoord are going to win the video. Can we see one of those 2 teams, though, make a late spurge and make some dominant things happen in the last 10 seasons? Or can we see another team be a dominant force in the last 10 seasons and maybe even a Luxembourg team? 45 seasons played now, and Feyenoord are still on top in terms of the rep rating. 4.5 stars, but also a worldwide rep rating. So Feyenoord are the biggest team in the video. They are going to go down as the biggest team in the video. Worldwide reputation for them. As I said, can they lift the Champions League? Can they do it? It is possible. Not quite a 5-star team, but worldwide reputation and 4.5 stars. I'm actually curious how big they are in terms of the other European clubs. Well, they're not one of the biggest European clubs, Feyenoord, but they are 17th in the list, below teams such as Nottingham Forest, Porto, Benfica as well, to name a few. But they're definitely in the mix for a team who could potentially win a Champions League, although it does still seem highly unlikely. But to see Feyenoord up there on the first page with 4.5-star reputation worldwide is very nice. Also, Westerlo just peeping up there at the bottom, make the top page of the biggest clubs in Europe as well. We've actually got quite big teams in the league now, to be honest. Of course, Feyenoord worldwide reputation, 4.5 stars. We've also got 5 teams with 4-star reputation and continental as well, in Westerlo, PSV, Anderlecht, AZ, and OH Leuven. We've also got a fair few teams with a 3.5-star reputation as well, including Antwerp in there, AA Ghent, who are yet to win a competition. Genk, Dudelang still up there with 3.5-star reputation, representing Luxembourg, of course. Club Brugge made a little bit of a resurgence. Heerenveen there as well. STVV, ain't seen anything from them. They got a 3.5-star reputation as well. And Ajax are still sitting in the Benelux First League, and they're barely just making the first page in terms of the biggest teams of the Benelux League system here. So Ajax have been a massive disappointment, and they're an absolute disgrace to the Dutch clubs in the video here. They're also below Differdang as well, who have fallen down to the Benelux First League, but at least Differdang can still say they're a bigger team than Ajax. Well, the smallest team of the video are still Heracles. Well, again Heracles, should I say, at the bottom of the list here. But look at the state of FC20. Haven't mentioned them at all so far in the video. And they are officially the 4th smallest team of the video. So FC20 haven't done anything in the video so far. It doesn't look like they're going to do it in the video either. So the Dutch team's not doing that well, to be honest, apart from Feyenoord, of course. But Ajax and FC20 not doing well at all, especially Ajax, terrible from them. PSV have been chipping in with quite a few trophies, so they are the second biggest Dutch team, but no one even rivals Feyenoord in terms of the Dutch teams. And talking of Feyenoord, they have won 5 in a row again from 2064 to 2068. So I think it's safe to say that Feyenoord will win the video in terms of the biggest club. They have absolutely battered the Super League in the last 25 seasons or so. Absolutely destroyed everyone else. I think they've won 17 out of 19 league titles now, which is a ridiculous record, has to be said. 5 in a row for them. Also, the Super League has dropped down to 6th again, which is unfortunate, but at least we've seen the league as high as 4th in Europe. Feyenoord have not only dominated the Super League in the last 5 years, they've also dominated the Benelux Cup as well. They've won the last 4 in a row from 65 to 68. Anderlecht won it again in 2064 as well. And in the Benelux Super Cup, Feyenoord have won 2 more of those. Westerlo have won that 2 more times as well, and Anderlecht won it in 2065. Unfortunately, no team has even reached the European final in the last 5 seasons. Feyenoord are the biggest team in the video, battered the Super League in the last 20 seasons or so. But it's hard for them to win a European trophy or get to the final because they're basically playing in the Champions League every single season. So very hard for Feyenoord. Unfortunately, no other team has reached the European final the last 5 seasons. Only 5 more seasons to go. Feyenoord have definitely won the most trophies of the video, but can we see a resurgence from Ajax? Can we see AA Ghent win their first trophy of the video? Or can we see a Luxembourg team lift a trophy in the last 5 seasons? Well, here we are at the end of the video. 50 seasons played and Feyenoord are still on top in terms of the reputation. Still with that worldwide reputation and 4.5 stars. The chasing pack, we actually have 6 4-star teams now, including Westerlo, AZ, PSV, Anderlecht, Leuven and Genk. So, yeah, the Belgian team's doing very well in terms of chasing. We've got 4 Belgian teams there with 4-star reputation. Also, AA Ghent, Antwerp with 3.5 stars as well. Willem 2 up there with 3.5 stars as well, doing well in the Super League. Fortunately, it looks like the Luxembourg teams have fallen off. Dudelang are down in the first league now with 3-star reputation, and Differdang are still in the first league as well with 3 stars as well. So it looks like the Luxembourg teams have fallen off a little bit at the end here. But Racing FC Luxembourg have made a little bit of a climb. They're actually in the Super League, Racing FC Luxembourg, with a 3-star reputation as well. Actually saying that, all the Luxembourg teams have a 3-star reputation, apart from Swift Hesperange with 2.5 stars. Actually, every single team in the video now has at least 3-star reputation, apart from Swift Hesperange at the bottom with 2.5 stars. So this Benelux region here, getting all the Benelux teams together, has definitely improved the reputation of the league quite significantly, in my opinion. But Racing FC Luxembourg, the only team finishing off from the Luxembourg nation in the Super League. But all of the teams have a 3-star reputation apart from Swift Hesperange. Well, in terms of the Super League, completely dominated by Feyenoord towards the end. How much is that in a row for their Feyenoord there? They actually won it 9 leagues in a row towards the end, Feyenoord, but they didn't win the last ever Benelux Super League of the video. That goes to Westerlo, who won it in 2073, sorry. Probably the team who are most fitting to lift the Super League at the end. I know Feyenoord have been the most successful, but the biggest surprise package by far have been Westerlo. So to see them lift the last Super League trophy is very, very nice in 2073. Also, the league finishes off in the top 4 in Europe at the end as well, which is also very nice to see. In terms of the Benelux Cup, well, Feyenoord won that for another 3 times in 69, 70 and 73, Westerlo in 2071 and AZ in 2072. Unfortunately, could never get the cup up to be the biggest cup in Europe, but they were in 2nd place below the English FA Cup. And in terms of the Benelux Super Cup, well, dominated by Feyenoord and Westerlo. Feyenoord won 3 in a row from 71 to 73, and before that, Westerlo won 3 in a row from 68 to 2070. Wow, also Feyenoord reached the Champions League final in 2072, but unfortunately lost to Liverpool in that season. They also lost in the Friends Arena. No friends in this final game here. The final to reach the Champions League final, though, is very, very nice. They've been brilliant in the video, especially in the last 25 seasons. The second half of the video, Feyenoord absolutely battered the Super League system, and also they've made big inroads in Europe as well. Reached the Champions League final, coming just 1 step away from lifting the Champions League, which has been quite... You know, it's still incredible final, reaching the Champions League final. Unfortunately, they could not win it, though. Well, fortunately, we had a team win the Europa League. The only team to win the Europa League, and they've done it in the final ever season. That is PSV. PSV won the Europa League in 2073, beating Augsburg in the final. We had 4 other teams reach the Europa League final. They lost the Europa League final, but PSV won the last ever Europa League competition of the video. So that's very nice to see. PSV been underwhelming as well. Not as bad as Ajax, of course, in the video here today, but at least they won the Europa League trophy come end of the video. Unfortunately, the Belgian curse did not get broken at the end of the video. 8 teams reached a European final from Belgium, and they all lost the final, unfortunately. Also, you have a 9th team reach the final. That is Oudenaarde. I don't know who this team is, but they're actually playing in the Belgian league system still. Of course, they're a team who did not make the Super League system, but they've reached another Europe Conference League final. So if we count Oudenaarde, that's 9 Belgian teams who reached the European final, and they lost all 9. So that is, yeah, very annoying, has to be said. Of course, the Belgian teams have done brilliantly in the video, especially one, that is Westerlo, of course. But unfortunately, they could not win a European trophy, whereas the Dutch teams did. Final reached the Champions League final, lost that, of course, but they also won a Europa Conference League. Ajax won the Europa Conference League as well, and PSV won the Europa League. Also, in terms of the Luxembourg teams, the most successful were Dude Lang. They reached 7th. They finished 7th in the Super League in 2061. They've also finished 8th 3 seasons in a row in the 60s. So it looks like that was the period for Dude Lang to make one more step and become a serious force in the league. But they did reach as high as 7th in the league, which is a little bit higher than my prediction, to be honest, with the Luxembourg teams. I wasn't sure they'd ever reach the Super League, any team, but they did a lot better than that. Ended up being a top half team for a few seasons, Dude Lang. Also, Differdang did brilliant things as well. They were the team who set the bar for the Luxembourg teams. Dude Lang followed did very well, but also Racing FC Luxembourg reached the Super League a couple of times as well. They ended off in the Super League, although they did finish bottom of the league. But very impressive stuff from the Luxembourg teams, it has to be said. But unfortunately, none of them could lift the major trophy. They won the Benelux First League, all 3 of them, a couple of occasions, but none of them could ever win the Super League or a Benelux Cup, unfortunately. So I think it's safe to say that Feyenoord have won the most trophies of the video here. They're actually battered everyone else in the last 25 seasons. But let me count up the top 3. Let's see who the other top 3 are. Well, I have counted up the trophies of the biggest teams of the video, and the top 3 from the early stages are still the top 3. Anderlecht in 3rd place with 21 trophies in total, including 6 Super Leagues. Westerlo in 2nd place with 31 trophies in total, including 8 Super Leagues. But out in 1st place, by a distance, are Feyenoord, who won 63 trophies in total, including 28 Super Leagues. Also, Feyenoord won the Club World Championship in the video as well, and got to a Champions League final. So I think it's safe to say that Feyenoord were the biggest team in the video. Did very, very well. Look at the state of this from the last. Feyenoord won 21 of the last 24 Super League titles, which is crazy. And the only teams to stop them were Anderlecht and Westerlo. Look at this as well. Feyenoord won it 9 seasons in a row, and Westerlo finished runner-up 9 seasons in a row. But Westerlo, 10th time of asking, overtook Feyenoord in the final ever Super League title to win it once more. So great respect for Westerlo there. 9 seasons in a row as runner-up. That must be very heartbreaking, but to win it for the final time is very nice for them. Also, PSV got into double digits in terms of trophies, but couldn't make the top 3, unfortunately. They also won the Europa League for the final, well, for the first time any teams won a Europa League of the video, and it came in the final season as well. So PSV definitely made a dent of the video. They only won 2 Super Leagues though. That was back-to-back in 2025 and 2026. Ajax were very underwhelming. They won the Super League 3 times though in total, but they actually ended up in the First League and 11th in the First League, as you can see, for Ajax. Absolutely terrible from them. They got back in the Super League again, but yeah, just absolutely shambolic from Ajax. PSV did better than them, but in terms of the top 3, 2 of them are Belgian and 1, of course, Dutch. But Feyenoord have definitely won the video here today. Won 28 Super Leagues in total and 63 trophies in total as well. So Feyenoord, massive respect for them in the video, but also hats off to Westerlo, 2nd biggest team in the video, Westerlo, and the biggest Belgian team as well. But also we've got to shout out the Luxembourg teams, especially Dude Lang and Differdang. They made a great effort in terms of trying to win a competition of the video. Mentioning the Luxembourg teams, I actually wanted to see if any of them actually reached a cup final in the video, and they did. One team did reach the cup final, and it's not the team he was expecting. It was Yunus Esch. They reached the Benelux Cup final in 2045, where they lost to Ajax. So at least we saw a Luxembourg team reach a Benelux Cup final. Saying that, Differdang reached it as well in 2069, where they lost the final. So 2 Luxembourg teams reached the Benelux Cup final. Unfortunately, they could not lift the competition, but they came very, very close. They did so well in the video here today. Of course, Luxembourg is a tiny nation, and the clubs are tiny as well. But Differdang and Douglang both reached 3.5-star reputation, and they both finished in the top half in the Super League on a few occasions as well. So shout out to the Luxembourg teams as well. But the biggest team in the video was Feyenoord. 28 Super Leagues for them, a Champions League final as well, and a Club World Championship win. Feyenoord are the biggest club from the Benelux League system in terms of this video. So that is the end of this video, guys. If you do like this video, please remember to hit that like button for me. And also, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button as well. It would really help me out, and you much appreciated. And also, if you have your own ideas for my next Super League, do please let me know down in the comment section below, because I may use that Super League in the future. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.